Hello everybody. We welcome you again for this presentation. In this presentation, we will be going to look into types of sectors in building services. In the previous slide, we were speaking about some terminologies like client side, consultant and contractor. So to clear those terminologies, we have prepared this slide with a title of types of sectors in building services. There are client side, consultant, contractor and third party. Client. Who is client? He is the owner of the project who works directly into the project with his team if he has his own team. If he doesn't have a team, then he will hire a consultant or directly to the contractor as per the requirement. So the client is the owner of the project who gives the detail of the project. For example, if you are a client and you are going to make your own construction of building of around 5-story buildings, then you will be having some set of requirements like this project is going to be located at this place. This project needs this kind of civil work, and this mechanical system should have air cooled or water cooled, and the electrical system you will be having some specific. This specification will be first given by the client to the consultant. So the consultant now comes into the picture. Consultant is the one who works as a representative for the client and taking care of the works related to the construction, such as designing, budgeting, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closeout of the project. Consultant has to do all these jobs. It is not just like, if you look from outside, it is like you are just building a building, but inside the building work there are lots of sections like design. You have to design in the system, you have to make budget. You cannot work without any budget, right? You will be having a budgeting team, and there will be a budgeting people who budget the job, and planning. Without planning, nothing will happen or nothing will go on right path. So planning team will sit and do the planning work, and at last, once the planning, budgeting, everything is done, the execution team will come into the site and start executing the job. Most important is the monitoring section, because consultant at site will be monitoring the work of contractor. When we discuss about the contractor, you will know who is contractor, what is his role. So the consultant at site will be monitoring and controlling the progress of the project, and at last he is the only one who is going to take the project once it is closed on behalf of client, because client doesn't have a team, so he hires the consultant. So as a representative of the client, the consultant will be taking the closeout of the project from the contractor. So this is what the consultant will do. Okay, next the contractor. The contractor is nothing but a group of people who works in the direction of client if he is hired directly, or consultant with his manpower to fulfill the construction activity, and he will be paid for it. There may be many contractor and subcontractor in the picture according to the requirement of the project. Also, they do the whole designing of the system and work according to the client's requirement. So this contractor will be having his own team. He will be doing his own design. Once after he gets the tender document from the consultant, once the job is awarded, he will be sitting with his team. Same like consultant, he will also be having his own set of people for planning, execution, and also for other contract related things. So these people will sit together and will plan for taking the project. So this is what the contractor will do. And also there are subcontractors will be there. If the contractor is having all the manpower from starting from civil work to mechanical to electrical, he will do all the job by his own. If he is not having certain department, like he is not having mechanical department in his company, then he will go for a subcontractor. The contractor will float a tender to subcontractor and he will hire a subcontractor. Those subcontractor will work in the command of contractor. So the consultant will not bypass directly to the subcontractor. Contractor will be handling the subcontractor. So this is what the contractor is. And the third party, they are nothing but a subject matter expertise who comes for inspection of certain equipments or a civil work, either from government side or from private section, like a service engineer, commissioning engineer, etc. Why I am mentioning these things here? Because once after finishing this job, you will be finishing this course, you will be looking for a job. So you may not be knowing who is consultant, client or contractor, where to apply, what position you can apply. So in order to make it clear, because when I was, as again I'm telling, when I was finishing my college, I was not aware of those sectors. But now I'm good enough of knowing these sectors. That is why I'm telling you guys what are all the types of sectors. So once after finishing this course, if you are looking for a job, you can try in all the 4 sides. Every side has, or every side needs engineers. Maybe as a mechanical engineer, maybe as a HVAC engineer, maybe as a planning for HVAC engineer, maybe as a testing and commissioning engineer. So you can apply for all those sectors, and you should know what their role is. That is why this slide is especially prepared. So I hope you might have cleared off what are all the types available, what are all their roles. So that's all about the types of sector in the building services. So we hope you enjoyed this slide. I will continue in the next slide with the roles of the consultant, contractor and client. Thank you. See you in the next slide. Thank you. Hello everybody. Let's look into the roles involved in the building services. In the previous slide we saw types of sectors. Here now we are going to see the roles of consultant, contractor and subcontractor. Consultant. He will make the designing, tender drawing, specification writing, preparing BOQ, creating quality plan, give approved make and vendor list. Once it is ready, you may not be, since you are a fresh engineer, you may not be aware of those terminologies. Let me introduce those things. Designing, it's a normal thing. Once after getting the specification or the requirement details from the client, the consultant will sit together with his team and start doing the designing. He will design the whole building systems, whatever it may be a civil or mechanical, electrical, whatever it is. He will sit and do the designing. Once it is done, he will make a drawing. Why it is drawing is needed? It is the language of engineer. So drawing is very, very important in order to make the bill of quantity kind of stuffs. So the team will start making a tender drawing. It's a basic drawing. It will just give some normal detail about it. Will not be having any detailed things. The tender drawing will have only normal overview of the project. Then the team will again sit for writing the specification. We will write the specification for each and every department and their application and their equipment, whatever it is. Once the specification is written, then they will go and prepare the BOQ. They will list the details, the item details, and they will list the quantity required for it. They will arrive a price for each item, then they will come to a final price. Those things will be okay, is nothing but it's like a tabular column, will be containing all the details going to be involved in the project. The items going to be involved in the project. They will make the BOQ. Once the tender drawing is done, the specification is done, the BOQ will be ready, and they will make a quality plan. Quality plan is very very important because the work with no quality, is nothing. So they will make a quality plan for each and every thing, like what kind of brick, what kind of cement, how the mixing of the sand, water, and cement for making the construction, and also when it comes to mechanical, how to install the mechanical equipment, like this kind of things will be coming in the quality plan. And once it is ready, they will also give the approved makes. They will be having some of, for example, if you are buying AC, you will be having some preferred makes like LG or Samsung or Onida. Same like that, the client will ask for some favorite makes, and they will give the vendor list also. Once everything is ready, then the contract documents will be floated as a proposal to contractors in the market. Once the proposal is received by the contractor, now the contractor will be looking into all the specification details, drawings and BOQ, and he will reply with his proposal. That is given back to the consultant. The consultant will review the proposal, and he will check for the feasibility, and he will check for the background of the contractor who is going to work. He will check all those details, and he will award the contract to the contract. He will award the job to the contractor who is lowest in price and good in quality. So once this proposal is done, then the people will sit and do the scheduling of the project. They will schedule because everything should have a start and end. Without that, the project will be keep running. So in order to avoid that, they will sit and do the scheduling of the project. Once it is done, it will be given to the contractor. Then contractor will work on the specific budget, on the specific schedule to finish that job. During that time, the consultant, as we spoke in the previous slide, will be monitoring the project progress, payment certification, validation of the project, and accept the project. So this is up to the roles of consultant. The contractor now. The above said job is done by contractor if they are directly hired by the owner of the project. If the client is going directly to the contractor will work on the command of client, and he will do all the job. If not, he will work on the command of consultant. Once after the proposal is awarded, the consultant, we spoke about the proposal, right? The proposal is awarded to the contractor, then contractor will sit with his team and check for the feasibility and revalidate the scope for the cost management and schedule management. At the initial stage, the consultant and the client will make some kind of budget and make some kind of schedule. Now this contractor will sit again with his team and rework on those things on finishing the job as quickly as possible with cost effectively. So he will do this kind of feasibility checks. The main important thing is with no compromise to the required quality. If the quality is compromised, the job will be like, will not be accepted by the consultant. So the contractor should be very much careful in doing the revalidation of the scope for the task and the schedule with no compromise to the required quality, functionality of the equipment, scope required by the client. He should never compromise anything when he do the feasibility check. And having done with the checks, the required materials will be purchased and installed at site by the contractor. Then he will be doing all the installation work, he will be doing all the inspection work in coordinating with the coordination of consultant. There will be a site consultant. He will instruct the contractor for doing the job and also for checking those job for its acceptance. This is what the contractor will do. Next is the subcontractor. As I told you before in the previous slide, if the contractor doesn't have any department in his company, he will hire the third party like a subcontractor. For example, for HVAC, the main contractor will hire a third party from the market for doing only the HVAC work. Even there also requirement of engineers will be there. You can even apply for those type of sectors, the subcontractor sectors, and you can have your career over there also. Main purpose, again I'm saying, to make you guys to be clear of the roles of consultant, contractor and subcontractor. So that's all about the roles involved in the building construction. I will look into the job titles you will have once after finishing this course in the upcoming slide. Thanks for watching and keep following. See you in the next presentation. Thank you. Hi. This topic is designed for people to know about the job titles you will get once after finishing this course. People who are new to the industry may not be knowing of the titles what are all in the market. So we have listed few which are on high requirement for your knowledge. Once after finishing this course, you will be or you can apply for this kind of jobs. So the topic is job titles you will have. You can apply for site engineer position, project engineer, planning engineer, project sales engineer, site consultant, facilities engineer or maintenance engineer, design engineer, procurement engineer, quality engineer. You can apply for even HVAC engineer. This course is especially for HVAC engineer. So once after finishing this course, you can apply for HVAC engineer, service engineer. Okay, let's look into the responsibilities of each engineering. Okay, let's see first the site engineer, who is the ground level engineer who follows up and supervises all the site work and also the inspection requests coming to him given by the contractor or the subcontractor. He is responsible for ensuring all materials used and work performed as per specification, and also he checks the site measurement and give it to the senior engineer, and also he will be given method statement for each and every work. He has to follow those work using this method statement. He is responsible to supervision of day-to-day activities going at site, including supervising and monitoring the progress and manpower. He sometimes oversees the quality, and mainly he is responsible for health and safety matters on site. He will be coordinated with safety engineers and looking to the health and safety matters on site and ensure that coordination between other team is happening correctly or not. He is also responsible for assisting all inspection procedure with site inspectors. He review and make recommendation to senior engineers of all shop drawings and quantities for accuracy, but he will not be doing any decision because his power is bit less than the project engineer. So the decision power comes with project engineer, and site engineer will be assisting the project engineer. This kind of the responsibility belongs to the site engineer. Next is the project engineer. As we said before, the power is the only difference, and when you look into the responsibility, both looks same. For example, since the project engineer is senior to the site engineer, he is responsible for organizing relevant project data. As I told you before, the specification, bill of quantities, method statement kind of documents, he will organize everything and give it to the site engineer for doing the work. He will be responsible for the monitoring, integration and implementation of all project work through the site engineer. He will not be going directly, he will be having site engineer. In some projects there will not be any site engineer, only project engineer will be there. If that is the case, he will be going to the ground and doing this job. If not, he will assist the site engineer to do those jobs. And he prepare and maintain accurate project schedule and monitor risks that may adversely affect project schedule, performance and cost. See, same like site engineer, he will also do this job but with the help of site engineer, because he will be having all the project data. With the data he will follow the site engineer for its progress, if there is any risks or anything. Sometimes he will coordinate with other discipline like civil or structural, he will coordinate with those people and do the coordination work also, and also he takes some decision in case of any route change of the duct, of the pipe, of the installation of the big equipment. He will take those kind of decisions and do the site calls. Next is the planning engineer. It's a very good opportunity if you get as a planning engineer. Before that, you need to know some of the responsibilities of planning engineer. First responsibility, when I worked as a planning engineer also, when I was working as a planning engineer, not fully part-time planning engineer can say. When the planning engineer goes on leave, I used to take that responsibility. When I was doing as a planning engineer, the first thing what I felt difficult was the line activities. Every activity should have a line of activities. For example, installation of duct, you can say. For installing a duct, there are 4 to 5 line activities to be followed, like marking after that, installing the hanging support, then erecting the duct, then insulating it, then testing it. This kind of line activities you must know if you are a planning. After that, once the list activities if you know, then you will schedule this according to the required manpower and time required. So this kind of job, if you get as a planning engineer, this kind of job you must know. So once after knowing this kind, a schedule will be prepared. As I told you, during the project proposal review, there will be a schedule. Those schedule will contain these details like line activities according to the department, time required, budget required, manpower required. Everything will be coming in the master schedule. Once the project is awarded to the contractor, with the help of the master schedule, we will coordinate with all discipline engineers and follow the work for its progress, for its variance, for its any risk related to manpower or equipment. We will be keep following and escalating it to the higher management if required, with a presentation during the weekly meeting or monthly meeting. Then is the project sales engineer. Project sales engineer is like a tendering engineer. Before the project is taken by the contractor or to the consultant, this team will sit and check the feasibilities of the work, whether this can be done by the contractor or not, if the contractor is having good background or not. Like requisition will be checked, and then the working of the price, the arrival of the price will be done by the project sales engineer. He will be coordinating with the vendor for getting the best price for each and every equipment. Once after getting all those details, he will combine everything in the main view and arrive a total project estimate. Then this will be given to the consultant for selection process. This kind of work is taken care by the sales engineer. Then the site consultant. I am working right now as a site consultant. As a site consultant, I will be at site and monitoring and instructing the contractor for how the work should be happen. Site consultant is responsible for monitoring the progress, monitoring the budget, doing the interim payment certifications, and also quality checks will be done by the consultant. The contractor will work on the command of site consultant. These are all the work related to consultant. If you find a job opportunity as a site consultant, you can take that also, because you will be shaped during this course how to become a site consultant also. Next is maintenance engineer, you know well, and the design engineer. As I spoke in the first slide, this course will have the topic of designing of HVAC system. If you know the designing of those systems, you can apply for design engineer. And next is the quality engineer. Quality engineer, as I told you before, every project will be having a project quality plan. Those plan will be given to the quality engineer, and those quality plan has to be followed by the quality engineer at site. HVAC engineer. This course is for HVAC. Once after finishing this course, you can even apply for HVAC engineer position, as you are going to know all each and every components and working of those HVAC equipments. Service engineer. Service engineer is nothing but a third party engineer. He is dedicated for certain items, like for example chiller. Chiller has lots of companies like Train, York, Kirloskar, Carrier. Every company has their service engineer. They will try engineer only to sort any issue comes in the chiller. Those engineers will then be sent to the site for the checking of the installation of chiller, for the kickstart of the work. This kind of job will be done by the service engineer in order to make the equipment work properly and have a lifelong run. So service engineer will be doing those kind of job at site. So that's all about the job titles you will have in your career if you start searching for a job. If you come across any of this type of job opportunity, we can apply and get settled. Thank you very much, and see you in the next session. Thank you.